Hello, everyone on YouTube. It's me again. Hey, I just want to say, I want to bring out my about what's been going on in my life right now and why it's this rant. Hey, remember the video about the life discussion about the mental disabilities that build character and all that stuff? Well, let's check this out, guys. I got a little bit of a rant about these relationship things that's been happening and all that. Well, let's be truthful, okay? And I'm not talking about the relationships I'm in right now. I'm talking about like some of the previous relationships I've been before, okay? See, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a major simp years ago, and I didn't even know how to literally just do better. Up 1 second. As I was saying, on the other hand, now I'm not gonna lie to you. Back in the school years, I used to be a simp. Now, simping I did not know what I was going to get myself into. Here's the thing. I thought I would get the good girl that I really try to get around with or something. I try to go on a date, but sometimes I feel like I was the nervous slash, like, you know, flirty type of guy, but I usually was the simp. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I was a simp, but deep down, I guess I wasn't cut out for that. See, I had that type of energy, but I wasn't trying to learn how to awaken that part of me. So I tried to, stay normal as much as I could because I was just going through certain stuff. Then sometime later, I thought certain online dating would literally work for me in the future. But then again, this was when my grandfather was around. I didn't know what was going on with me. I tried to do something, with me and my homeboys and all that stuff, my friends and certain people that I hang out with. But the thing was, online dating alone just did not work out as I thought it would be. So my only valuable lesson out of that is that it just didn't work. So I quit online dating. And like I said before in that last video back in 2021 or 2022, well, something like that. But here's the thing. My only problem to this is that what I'm saying is, you guys, just don't do the things that I used to do. I'm not gonna lie, online dating just didn't work. Then you got some crazy subscriptions that go like try to scroll down and like pick the right person with you, and they literally meet you in person, but then they realize that you're not the one, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you try to get that person, you just get dumped for no apparent reason. Like they judge you on how you appear and how much money you make and everything, and then sometimes, and then all of a sudden, this is a good experience that for me. I just learned to never do these types of things of online dating. And dating in real life, it was very hard. I tried to get out of the house. I tried to find somewhere to go get to go actually find an actual date, get to know people around my neighborhood, get to know people, outside of my neighborhood, like somewhere around city blocks and everything. And trust me on these ones, it just didn't work. Like that was just it up until then. But now all of a sudden, now as I quit online dating, I'm just gonna be honest with you about this rant, is that I just stopped. I stopped online dating. So here's the thing. I cut myself from the Facebook groups. I cut myself away from Instagram models that try to, get a hold of me thinking that I'm going to take care of them in certain things. And then there's WhatsApp and then there's Telegram. Guys, I kid you not. A lot of things about dating apps will one day backfire on you. And turns out I'm the one that was a victim of being, no, I wasn't a simp, but, well, not victim of being a simp, but I feel like I was a victim of being played by certain people who are not really women. So if they're not the real person, then there's no need for me to go out with them. And trust me on this one. Certain women out there I try to look for just didn't fit, just didn't fit well for me. If I didn't fit their requirements, then they don't fit my requirements. See, my requirements are just plain and simple with traditional value, not about materialistic things. See, like I said, I just don't do that. Like I don't base a person off their appearance, on what they feel and what they know. See, here's the thing. I learned these three big factors. Infraction is just what you see, infatuation is what you feel, and real love is what you know. See, those are the three big factors. Okay, so as soon as you look at that person, they look beautiful and all that stuff, and all of a sudden it's like love at first sight. First of all, it's not. A lot of us men out here just don't learn from that. We some of us, certain of us, do learn from it, but that was when we were, changed. We used to be like misguided people, like simps and all that stuff. Is just that we just date the wrong people. It's just that they're not the person that we could have had. We just didn't meet that person's standards. And then you get the one, and then there's the one, and then there's some other certain women out there that I didn't want chase after me, asking me, what do I do for a living? And then I just tell them I just don't talk about my personal work problems. I don't talk about how much I make and what type of work I do. I just don't. I just don't do that. And then you get these red flags about how people are based on and what they do and what they should be requiring. First of all, if it's a turnoff on you guys, then just don't bother saying anything. See, in my opinion, looks don't matter, size don't matter, height don't matter, weight don't matter either. See, just as long as you're a good person. And another thing, it doesn't matter what race you are. The only race is that you are human. So it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter what race you are, just as long as you are a good individual person with a good personality and a smart one at best. I mean, sure, sometimes some of us have a normal personality. Some of us don't. Some of us just usually just want to hang out with good people. But then it's like I said, guys, some people that you would want to date just don't go for you, especially with the good looking people. But then as soon as the good looking people go out with these bad people, and I'm not trying to be a disrespectful person, I'm trying to raise not trying to promote abuse or bullying in many shapes or forms. It's just that sometimes they just not your type. But then as soon as the person that you didn't want comes into your life, sometimes they'll be aggressive with you at first, and then they'll be happy with you at first, they'll take advantage of you, and the next thing you know, as soon as the abuse or many shapes and forms comes in that first time, you just know it wasn't well fit out for you. As simple as that, man. It's that truth. But then there are certain relationships out there who that you did not realize that you might not have wanted, but in secret, it could have been a valuable one. Sometimes some of your friends out there would be either bad influences, and then there's some friends out there who are good influences, male or female. It doesn't matter who it is, just as long as they are actually good. And I even heard from a family member of mine that says, love your friends. Hey, been in your life since then or something like that. But sometimes in my opinion, sometimes you got to get to know the person before you judge them on what they say and what they do. Now, if they are, sometimes you just don't understand. If a person is being a bully, yes, sometimes bullies can trigger people, and depending on what history they had with their family or with their other friends. And there's some bullies out there who are abused by family members, and you don't even know what's going on, and sometimes it just happens like that. Bullying in many shapes and forms leads up to abuse, especially when it comes to people who are actually trying to do a job in a relationship. Pardon me for one more moment. And then there were certain, and then like every relationship that you could have been in at first wasn't good because they're toxic. There are just some people out there who are just so super toxic, and you know that's not what you want because deep down you want certain things that are good. Sometimes relationships are good, sometimes are bad. Sometimes there are going to be arguments, there's going to be fussing, there's going to be fighting, there's going to be attacking, but then all of a sudden it would lead up to breakups, and it will lead up to divorces, and then there lead up to not a lot of good things. But then certain relationships, on the other hand, would lead to certain happy endings, especially when there's that one man who is a good person to you, ladies out there. That person will come directly to you. He may not be tall, dark, or handsome. He may not make six figures or have six abs or 6 feet tall or something like that. Yeah, and like not a lot of guys like that. Sometimes there are some guys that like that, but some of them just don't fit that category sometimes. I mean, certain of them do, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them do, but certain of them don't. And then you got and then you and gentlemen, the ladies out there that you really do want to go out on a date with, even if it's the person that did not have feelings for you at first. Sometimes even one of your female friends would actually have feelings for you, and then they'll raise up, and then they'll suddenly understand where you're coming from, and they went through the same thing as well as you did, but then all of a sudden they could be a traditional person. They understand where you're coming from. They know what you're about. They want to learn about what you want to do, but as soon as they find out your first relationship that you went into a breakup with, eventually they would come into your circle and they would want to be that lovely woman you want to be in a relationship with. Take it from me, guys. I learned from these past mistakes and I've learned to make up for them. And I'm not going to say no names about my exes or anything like that. No, I keep it professional and keep that away. I would not disregard that. So with that truth being said, guys, relationships these relationships usually sometimes come and go, but it takes that 1% of being a traditional person with a value, a loving value between a blessing of a value from the Heavenly Father. So basically, if that person really loves you from the heart, mind, and soul, then that person loves you for who you are, not of how much money you make or what job you work at or how much income you bring at home. What matters is that that person loves you for you unconditionally. And I'm not talking about no transactional love when it comes to money and everything, because to me that doesn't support that never existed. Transactional love, no, that does not exist. That's nothing more than a mere makeup law and a makeup rule, and that's like tainting the golden rule. See, the golden rule is loving a person for who they are on the inside and out, not of how much money they make. And ladies, even if the man may appear like he wants to be on a good relationship with you, but if he gives you negative vibes inside and out and you know it's toxic, don't go with that person. Go with someone. Try to get to know a person first before you jump into the relationship, because sometimes these quick rush taking action relationships are just don't literally, make sense anymore. And one night stands, oh no, they don't do that. No, they don't do that. No, traditional people don't do that. Kindred people don't do that, especially family circles who follow the actual rule of being the man of the house. They don't play by those kind of things. I mean, some men do one night stands, but and certain women would do that, but not a lot of men and women would want to do that either. Certain of them want a person that will love them for them. Some of them just want to, not just be protected, but they want to like feel love, like the love that they never had of their family members, like their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, as like, somebody that will be there for them. That's the truth. So anyway, guys, moral of this rant of a video: relationships are not transactional. They're not a business. Relationships are meant to be sacred between a man and a woman. And above all that, appearances just don't matter. Oh, just a second. So yes, moral to this is appearances, height, weight doesn't really matter in relationships. And above all that, on a person who works and how much money that person is making, or what habitat he's living in, that also doesn't matter either. Okay, sometimes you got to understand that relationships are built by trust, respect, honesty, loyalty, and more importantly, being really faithful to that person. This concludes with every last one of us that we have to learn from our peers, even from our teachers. Okay, guys? So let me know in the comments description below. Okay? Also, give this video a like and comment if you want to see some more or hear about some more rants I have. Okay? So tune in next time. Later.